So yeah, quick intro on my side. So my name is Rohan Tondulkar. I have been working for SciSpace for around more than 3 years now. I'm leading the ML research team at SciSpace. So yeah, we are the ones who are working on the brains behind the agent. So that is one of the main reasons I like to do these webinars, is I get to know firsthand from all your questions, all your queries on what's going right, what's going wrong, what do all of you need better, more new feature requests. All of those are very valuable. So this exposure with all of you is very valuable. So we'll start by addressing some quick questions that we very commonly get on what is different in SciSpace Agent. I'll answer it from two perspectives. One on how SciSpace Agent is different from all the other tools at SciSpace, and two, how SciSpace Agent is different to, let's say, ChatGPT or any other ChatGPT tools or any in general LLMs, right? So the easier one, okay, for me both are easy. So let's address how SciSpace is different to ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT at the core has an LLM. Let's say you have a lot of LLMs out there in market, be it GPTs, Anthropic has models, Google has models, Grok has models, all of them. So LLMs usually power the intelligence. Now in ChatGPT, there are some capabilities they have built on top of their LLMs, which they use. What is SciSpace compared to ChatGPT is we have enhanced those capabilities from a research perspective, right? So what we are trying to say is ChatGPT is a very generic use case agent or a model kind of thing, where it is not there to cater for this audience that we have here. Whereas at SciSpace, our agent is specifically tuned with the tools, with the capabilities that it has, with all the available, let's say, weapons, uh, that it can use to answer all the queries. That is very research oriented. So we have all the APIs, tools for all the research searches, for writing, for journal related data, for posters, for huge amount of use cases. So let's say we know a bio researchers want PubMed interfaces. We have PubMed interfaces. We have ways to add columns and stuff. So while we go through it, I'll show more of these capabilities to you, right? So all of this is our delta, a big delta for the vertical of research. So the capabilities is our differentiator in agent compared to any chat GPT or any generic agentic tool or LLM, right? So that is part one. How is SciSpace Agent different or better for research compared to ChatGPT? And this is, let's say we launched the agent on towards the end of July, sorry, and it's been, let's say, only 2 months since the launch. So it's very early stage for the agent. The amount of improvements that we have planned in terms of providing more citations everywhere, more trustworthiness, things that ChatGPT would never want to do, because their main audience is not just research, it's for all the population of the earth, right? So the amount of improvements that we have planned, it's gonna be hugely beneficial for everyone here, right? So yeah, so the second question, how is SciSpace Agent different or better than all the other tools? So SciSpace has a lot of tools. Okay, let me quickly share my screen so there I can take you through it. Yeah, so Deepak, can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, your screen's visible. Yeah.
Okay, right. So in terms of telling the capabilities, if you look at the home page, now you will see the agent. If you look at the home page, these are some of the capabilities. Let's say we can go through grants, we can go through clinical trials, we can go through patents, we can, go through create a poster. Obviously, we can search papers, we can do debrief, we can do archive, we can write latex manuscripts, all of this, right? That is research capabilities and more coming, and the interface is made for research. So I'll take you there once we, as we start the demos. The second part is how is SciSpace different? Now, if you look, we have a lot of tools on the left. You have library, AI writer, chat with PDF, lit review. We also have deep review, which is like an enhanced literature review. You have paraphrases, citation, and whatnot, right? AI detector, all of those. So what does the agent do? It's one interface for all of SciSpace tools, right? And more because we'll keep on adding. So agent for us is like, okay, if you want to do a literature review, do it in agent. Now in literature review, you do a literature review and have to kind of stop there because there is no way to, okay, now generate a report from it very easily, or now change the query this way and quickly do this so that I can see both and stuff. So all of that, whatever you want to do in agent, you can work on top of those tools. You can do deep review, create a report, ask it to alter the report as per your recommendations or as per your preferences, and so on. Let's say paraphrase. Paraphrase is, okay, it's very simple for any LLM to do. Citation generator, you can do it through the agent. AI detector, we are soon adding. Chat with PDF. So let's say chat with PDF gives you option to work with single PDF. In agent, you can update, add, let's say 10 PDFs. Ask it, hey, compare some methods across all PDFs, tell me a summary. And then you can say, okay, now this topic is important. I've got some summary. Now let me do a literature review on this in the same thread. That is where the agent is different from all the SciSpace tools. So it's a aggregation of tools, but can be used as per user preferences, and a lot more tools can be added very quickly here, right? Am I clear here? Can you maybe quickly tell in feedback if it's clear enough on the differentiation? Yeah, end-to-end complete research paper writing. Sure, okay. So the entire demo is gonna be presentations. Surely I'm not gonna sit on the home screen. So yes, okay, great. Yes, so we'll go through demos. Now, one thing we wanted to focus also on this webinar was prompting. So I hope the intro was good enough for people who have not used the agent also, right? So one thing we wanted to focus on was how important it is for prompting to the agent, right? So earlier, let's say when you are using literature review, you could just write your queries and do a search, and then again quickly change queries, quickly do a new search, no extra cost. Whereas in the agent world, it's all based on credits, right? So we have monthly credits for different plans. Premium has certain amount, advanced has certain amount, and then the credits expire, so you can add on credits. So it's a more costly process because it's very costly for us. One of the reasons is that we are using top of the line LLMs, which are very costly in the token generation. The infra for this is also costly. So yeah, we are working on bringing down the cost, and once we bring down the cost, the benefit will be passed on to the users. But currently, that's why the prompt in first attempt is important, right? So let me take you through an example. So this is an example. I just told it search papers on quantum computing and write a report. Now, if you look, it did a SciSpace search. Then, so this is what we get as an output. Now, this is something again, a research specific agent, which a ChatGPT or anyone will never be. Here you can quickly add a column saying maybe let's say results from all of these papers, example, right? So agent will add a column for results. So all of this is very academic specific, which no generic agent will build. Okay, going through the prompt. Now this is a very simple prompt, right? Now we'll see the problems with this prompt and how you will unnecessarily lose credits. So it did SciSpace, it did SciSpace full text. So we also have added this new feature, which is not in other tools, where we go through the full text of the paper and then tell you which part of the paper this I mean is the relevant excerpt for this, right? So okay, for all the papers you'll see what section, what part of the paper is important. So we are now going through the PDFs wherever wherever they're available through open access. So obviously we can't go beyond the paywall PDFs, but wherever we have PDFs, we go through them and do a separate search there. So we go through Google Scholar, Archive, you get a similar table through all, right? And you can do add columns, everything to all of them. So that's the beauty of this specific agent. And these are new improvements. Some of the people who might have used it from before would know that, let's say, archive did not look like this. It was a simple CSV. So now you can do add columns in archive. You get a same search table here as well, and you can access PDF, everything here. So it did all the searches, and it eventually tried to extract insights. So this is some tool that we have created to ensure that the answer is with proper references and no citation issues. Right now, this is the report it created, which looks very good at the on the first look, and it's good. There are no issues. There are no citation issues. It's citing everywhere. Yeah, so it's a decently good report with some references. But the problem is, I wanted maybe a 6-page report. I wanted a report in LaTeX, which I can export as PDF. I mean, which is a final LaTeX PDF with all the citations properly in LaTeX format. I wanted some specific sections in the report. But when I just say a simple thing, agent is going to assume a lot of things and it's going to write on its own, right? Maybe I wanted citations in a different format, the author et al format, right? Maybe I wanted certain year specific filters. So let's say take this other example. Now here I've written a big prompt, which with as much detail as possible. So I've said I want to create a LaTeX report on latest trends in quantum computing. For that, do the following tasks. Search papers by firing multiple queries on each, right? So I've not stopped at one query. Like, try multiple queries so that you get more papers. Write a 5-page LaTeX report, very specific, which talks about the older trends, new innovations in recent times, and existing limitations. I've also asked it also search and include how quantum computing impacts the field of machine learning. Include references at the end, right? So you can be as more specific. You can say references in this format. You can say include certain sections, exclude certain years, exclude certain journals, and whatnot. Now this is what we want. So what happens here, it will still run, right? So if you look, it added this column again. So now we have a results column specific. Now this is where SciSpace kind of is working like an agent, but still giving you a strong UX, which as a academic researcher is very valuable, and which is consistent with other tools. So if you have used our literature review and library, you're already used to this add column feature. So we give that in agent also throughout. So what happens here is you might, so this query itself has taken, let's say, 50 credits of mine, and in a way has wasted my credits because I didn't write a good prompt or I was not clear in my instruction, right? The important thing to know here is agent has a lot of capabilities. So it's gonna make a lot of assumptions about your query and then work accordingly. I mean, there are some patterns that we have asked it to follow in our prompts, in our workflows, but it still has its own intelligence to make some assumptions. Earlier, when you were using our literature review or deep review tool, there was a fixed things that it could do. So even a bad thing firstly would not impact the output drastically versus, and also won't cost you credits. Now both of the things are necessary because it happens with me many times when I write something in ChatGPT deep research. Let's say if I want to do something, and then I write a query, it takes a long time, and then I didn't get an expected outcome. I'm like, okay, also time is wasted. I took 10 minutes to generate and I did not get what I want. So here in the second query, I mentioned everything very specifically, right? Now what it did is first it created a plan. So previous query, it felt very simple. It did not find it worth creating a plan. So here, if you look, it has like created a plan for how it wants to search. Then it has said, I want to extract insights, one on latest trends, other on impact on ML field, and then write a LaTeX report. Now it again has searched all of this. It has also fired another query to some of it wherever it found relevant. It extracted insights, and then it updated into, okay, these are the steps that are done. So here you get a kind of summary. You got 100 papers from here, 20 papers from there, all of that things. And it started writing the LaTeX report. Now, I've told it 5-page. Let's see if it's able to do 5-page. But if you look, it has focused on historical trends, recent innovations, ML impact, limitations, future outlook, and references in BIP format, right? So again, all of this BIP file obviously we can view, but all of this ensures you get a very thorough output that you want, and in in a format that you want, right? With all the constraints that you have put in place. So it then converts the latex to PDF using PDF latex. It verifies the PDF, and at the end you have a PDF. Now let's look at this PDF. So yeah, maybe what I told and what I expected were different. So it has created very long PDF, 20 pages. But if like first 3 pages are intro, last few pages are again citations, uh, and it's very detailed. So we can again, so this is agent, you can tell it, ensure it's in only 5 pages, cut short all the content, right? Because it was very thorough in all of this, it created a longer PDF, right? But yeah, now you have all of this, everything is linked. You can download this PDF, the links might not work here. You have a proper latex PDF with all the citations in place, everything linked to the BIP file, uh, very detailed, recent innovations, what happened in last 1 year. And I think for someone who is very for their own domain of knowledge, reading this PDF itself gives them so much knowledge into that field or whatever they are searching, which is could be very niche, that helps them drive their further steps of action, right? Yeah, I mean, it has created tables. It has also told how quantum can impact in drug discovery, current limitations, so hardware level constraints, scalability, algorithmic limitations, yeah, a lot of it. And at the end you have around 20 references. So previous one only had 10, now it has searched a lot more. There's 20 references. Yeah, so this is one example. Let me take you through another example, right? So here in SciSpace we can also create and host a website, right? So I uploaded a paper. This is about some COVID stats, as of 2022, the COVID stats paper, and I just told it create a COVID stats related website for this based on this PDF, right? Now we have a Copilot tool inside Agent, so it asks Copilot for some points and key findings, and it starts creating the website, right? So eventually this is the website, which is decent. I wouldn't say it's bad, right? It's a decent in website, and we also host it. Now you can directly, this link is live, right? You can open it in a new tab, and it's available always because it's hosted. So this is a decent website, right? But I've not told it any specifications on what I want in website, what I don't want, right? So it's talked about variance, evolution, it's made a lot of graphs. It's a very decent, good looking website. All right. Now let's go what happens when we write a very good prompt, right? So here I wrote, I want to create a website for COVID stats. Do the following. First is I've also given the same PDF, right? I've told it parse the PDF, parse the given PDF, spelling mistake, sorry. We should use that content for various things. Also, search literature to find more stats which are not mentioned in the paper. Example, country related, vaccination, healthcare, preparedness. Create also a report of what extra information is found in searches which is not mentioned in the paper. And then create the website with best information. Website should include what all. Use top publication venues only during search to ensure data is reliable, right? So this is a detailed prompt. Now I have told it everything, and let's see what it did. So again, when you give a complex query, the approach in agent is always to create a to-do, because generally when there is a plan, it works better rather than going on an ad hoc journey. It's always easier to follow a plan. So it has like parse PDF, search literature, extract insights, create a markdown report, and then create the website, and then deploy the website, right? So it parsed the PDF. So here you can see the entire PDF output. We have a parsing tool where you can parse any kind of PDF. It searched a lot of the literature, multiple queries to SciSpace, full text, Google Scholar, extracted insights, uh, wrote the report. Yeah, now let's check this report. What does it tell? So yeah, let's look at this. Additional statistics not mentioned in the PDF, right? So that's what I specifically asked it to look and find things that were not in the PDF. So what it has told is global vaccine coverage and effectiveness in terms of regional disparities, right? That's not in the PDF. Vaccine acceptance by country, healthcare system capacities across different countries. So it's given Bangladesh, Germany, Switzerland, Mexico, patient demographics of what people uh, lost their lives, what people were saved, country specific burden analysis, all of this. So now this is very valuable, and this will be the extra stats that go in the website, right? Now let's look at the website. Again, this website is also hosted. Just let's get it from here. So in final outputs, you'll have the website. Yeah, let's look at it in a new website page. So now this website doesn't have just vaccine basic COVID details. It has regional coverage, lives saved by age group, vaccine acceptance by countries, healthcare system preparedness on ICU capacity, and let's say for Bangladesh, for different other countries, ICU treatments, PPE kit availabilities, pandemic timeline phases in terms of cases, how many million cases at different point of time. Again, it also covers what was there in the PDF, like the first wave, second wave, all the phases of COVID, country-wise mortality rates, years of life lost, top performing healthcare systems, based on whatever literature it did, right? So all of this is here. Now this is a much more detailed, and also mainly it's based on what I want, right? So that is the advantage of better prompting. Now, if you look, more credits will be consumed. So the previous one took 30 credits. This one took 450 credits. It can, but the output is what I want, right? So that is the thing. Less credits, it's a simple run, simple output. Lot more steps, lot more credits. So let's say earlier one just did a copilot on the PDF, wrote the website, simple. Here we did literature review, we did planning, we did huge amount of searches, we did report on the differences in literature, and then we also we wrote the website. So that's a huge difference, right? So you need to write prompts based on what you need to do at the end, right? So that is probably the most important thing. You need to be aware of how complex a task you need. So if you need a complex task, it's better if you give it in the first attempt rather than wasting credits. If you need a simple task, just ask it only do this and give me this. Very less credits will be consumed, right? So if you look at my chart history also, you'll see sometimes only 40, 50, 30, 20, 100 credits are done, are spent. So in that way, if let's say I have 1500 credits of a month, I can easily run, maybe 20, 30 tasks for simple cases. Complex cases, lesser task. How complex I want based on that, right? Okay. So coming back to, okay. So again, writing prompts is a tough task many times. So what we also sometimes recommend is you can ask agent itself to write a prompt, this will take only 10 credits. So let's say here I've asked it to write a 30-word prompt to do a detailed literature review on hallucinations in LLMs, right? Now this is a single task of sorts. So I've asked it a simple prompt. So it gave me a 30-word prompt to do it. So it did specify a lot of good things. detection methods of hallucination, mitigation strategies, evaluation metrics, underlying causes, all of it. So in 30 words, it tried to combine as much things as it could, right? So this is a single use case scenario or single task scenario. If you want a complex task, you can again ask agent, write a detailed 100-word prompt to create a Prisma compliant systematic literature review on CRISPR gene editing in plants. Now here it created a very detailed prompt. It has asked it to search whatnot using Boolean queries, focusing on many things, include peer-reviewed articles from what years, screen titles, abstracts, extract data from various gene targets, assess study quality, synthesize findings on agricultural and environmental implications, and generate Prisma flow diagram, evidence tables, meta-analysis. So this is a very detailed prompt for this scenario, right? So this are ways in which you can just chat with agent, where you can ask agent to generate a prompt. Another interesting thing is that we have something called prompt builder, right? So this build your task section, can you guys just maybe do a quick raise of hands of how many people have used this build your task thing, so I know how many people are aware? So I'd recommend everyone to ask the questions in the Q&A section, because in this chat, okay, most people have not used this. Okay, great. Then it's even more valuable. All right. Okay, that is very good to know. So it's good we are covering it. So all questions, okay, in some cases it did not work well, we can address that. 6 a.m. Great to know. Okay, awesome. So all questions, please put it into the Q&A section. So at the end of this demo from my side, we'll address all of the questions. So I'll just use this as a notepad for now. So what all do we want in a prompt? So prompt should have it should have a context, right? Of, let's say, hey, I want to do this on a larger scale. What's your goal? It should have some context, so the agent is aware what to do. Second, it should also talk about the task, the main task and subtask. So I'll say task including subtasks. Third, it should talk about the constraints, like sorry, yeah, so it should talk about, okay, include this kind of papers, include this in the report, do not include this, all of those constraints, or add this, do not do this step, whatever, all these constraints. 4, output related. What should be the final output? It should be a LaTeX report, Markdown report, website, PPT, LaTeX slides. We also do that. Let's say an interesting tip is upload a PDF, ask it to create LaTeX slides. It will do a decent job, and then you can download all the text files and maybe update as you want in Overleaf or whatever tool you use. So that's something we do quite well also. Yeah, so output related, so you need to mention how many pages, what sections, all of those things, you as much as you can. So this is in general a prompt structure that is a good structure. You guys can maybe note it down if required. Now that is something we follow here. So this is what we call a prompt builder. One aim is also to make the user aware of what all they can do with SciSpace, right? And then help them to make a prompt to use it. So let's say I want to search papers. Okay, fine. Using, let's say you want to do SciSpace deep review. Okay, and archive. Okay, and let's say you want to do Google Scholar also. I want to search for a very simple task, filling the blanks for you, for the users. Just mention your topic here, whatever. Let's say quantum computing, which I was searching, and run the query, right? Okay, let's go back and continue. Now, so this first thing is, it's like your context, right? And in a way, context plus task combined. So this prompt builder will help you build very a decently simple to complex prompts, but not very complex prompt. Because in complex prompts, it's you putting your heart out, telling in your own words, hey, do this, but not this, but this, that, and that. So this is not for that. This is to make you aware of how to include all of this in your uh, prompt, right? So let's say we did use, and then at the end, let's say create a latex manuscript on the finding, or let's say then create a powerful PP presentation, then maybe create an interactive app, which is probably a website. So yeah, all of this. So let's try again. So this is basically the third part, the output part, right? So this is more like context plus task. This is on how to do your subtask, what tools to use, right? Uh, Constraints is not here because constraints can be anything and it can be in own words. And this is the output step. So let's try something else. Okay. Let's say I want to extract data from the uploaded file. And okay, so uploaded files, use my uploaded files to extract from the uploaded file, create a PDF report and a website. Okay, it found it as two distinct tasks. So it is given certain options as well. Okay, it's given more details, LLMs, right? So website and PPT may be too contradictory. So let's say, okay, extract data, create a flowchart, right? So this is a prompt builder which helps you go through 3 stages, and it also exposes most of the things that SciSpace can do, right? Pretty much. Okay. There are more capabilities and which will keep on adding here. So this prompt builder is again a very valuable tool that you guys can use for simple tasks. For very complex tasks, the pattern I showed before. So the two approaches that are better. One is asking SciSpace agent itself to build the prompt. Second is writing a detailed prompt like I mentioned there, right? So let's also go through some use cases. So let's say one use case that is very common is searching conferences and submissions, right? So if you look here, okay, all right, so we'll close this for now. So what I've asked is search conferences and suggest suitable top conferences for below paper title and abstract. For top conferences, also do web search to extract submission dates which are latest and give higher priority to conferences which have abstract submission dates in next 2 months only. Be very accurate in checking the dates and giving recommendations. A quite detailed prompt. Now here what I'm trying is basically I have a specific title and abstract which is around hallucinations for LLMs, and now I want agent to do my job of, hey, look at all the requirements for different conferences. So in ML there are a lot of conferences, in other cases there are a lot of journals. You can use the same something similar for journals, and then look at their workshops or their conferences and stuff. I have not mentioned workshops, and tell me what conferences are most suitable for my topic for this title and abstract. Now if you look, it has one search SciSpace conferences for let's say 4 times because some search query did not return. Yeah, so it got some responses from SciSpace conferences. Sometimes it did not got because the queries, let's say there is no conference named LLM. But yeah, it got these 3-4 conferences. It also searched web here, right? It got a lot of the top AI conferences, ICML, NeurIPS. So it searched web for 5 times. It specifically searched because I mentioned next 2 months. It searched for November 25, December 2025. It also, analyzed the search results in a CSV, right? So yeah, these are the search results. It's going through the CSV for that. It felt okay, I can do more for next 2 months. So now it realized, okay, ICL, some conferences can happen next year, but the deadlines would be coming around in, October, November. So it searched for more, read those outcomes. Eventually, it wrote a conference recommendation report, right? So, okay, so deadline passed. So status is no. It started with top conference preferences, right? But some of them have deadline passed. All right. Yeah. So check individual workshop deadline. So maybe some of the top conferences are already passed. So 26 conferences, what I need to plan, right? Uh, yeah. So it told me an important finding. Okay, this is not a good time. Most major ANLP, AML conferences have already passed, right? So it did give me some options of some workshops for in EMNLP and some journal submissions also. Interesting. Why venue specific fit analysis, why these are ideal, these are perfect, is excellent. So it told me, okay, if you're looking for short term publishing, this is not a good time. Some workshops were available, right? Long term, you can target some conferences of next year, right? Uh, that's a pretty good summary because I told it to focus on 2 months. That's how I got it. If I run the same report, maybe and tell it, okay, next 1 year, it would, all of this would be included for 2027, right? So this is one use case. Okay, let's take another use case. I hope we have time. Yeah. So here, all right, so let's close this to start with. What I've done is I've uploaded 6 PDFs, right? So this is a data extraction use case. Now, this is something you can't do in SciSpace at all. Now I've told it, I want to analyze all the attached PDFs and create a report. So you can first understand content for all PDFs, create a markdown report that talks about various agentic architectures, most commonly used designs, what use cases can be easily done by agents, what are the limitations. Also add in report what issues should I be careful about if I'm building an agentic application, right? So I've read all these papers before creating SciSpace, so I pretty much know this domain and stuff. Now you might say, okay, this is something ChatGPT can also do. I totally agree. What it won't do is, let's say if I add it in the prompt saying, based on these findings, also do another literature search. Get me, check if all this, the research gaps that you find in these PDFs, are they now resolved. Do a deep search, all of this. So now currently the deep research in ChatGPT for a single topic might take 5-10 minutes minimum. And still it won't cover the millions of papers that SciSpace does. It will do some web search, might get some links, work on it, right? It might do 30 web searches, still will only get some links that are SEO tagged, SEO optimized and all those things, right? So here, and this is something existing SciSpace tools also won't do. You can chat with one PDF in Copilot, you have library where you can chat more. Can you combine search with it? Can you write a report out of it? None of this can happen, right? So that is the big advantage of the agent, right? So, okay, it asked the Copilot for PDF. Yeah, so first, okay, it parsed all the PDF, asked Copilot, read some of the parsing files, okay, and eventually wrote a report. Now, this task is relatively simple. So, but the benefit is you get one transparency of all the steps it took, and you can check the output at each step. So the transparency to the user is something that is only going to increase in the agent as we develop more. So we are looking at a lot more tools and a lot more changes to the UX to give more transparency. So it wrote a report. You can, okay, let me go to this report. You can download as Markdown as PDF, right? So let's open it as PDF. Okay, let me check the downloads. Yeah. Okay, so the PDF is here. All right. This is much better. You can also share this easily. From Markdown to PDF, there might be some formatting issues here and there, right? Yeah, so introduction to agentic architectures. Key characteristics of modern agentic architectures, core design patterns. So it's talked about some of the design patterns from all of those papers. Okay, so and this is also 11-page report, right? Let me just, yeah. What are the, yeah, human agent communication challenges. So this is the UX that we are working on. How do we convey? One of the ways we are solving this is literally these webinars, right? Because agent can be complex to understand. So we want to do these webinars where we tell you what are the capabilities, how to prompt, all of those things. Some retrieval challenges, okay. Use cases, it has given challenging use cases where there's high stake decision making. Sometimes you have to verify any AI output needs to be a bit verified. It can currently it's not 100% safe. Limitations, computational cost, which is why which is what we are also facing. Accuracy, reliability. So this is very high in ChatGPT kind of situations. SciSpace like tools reduce it as much as possible because we build guardrails around the system and we keep on improving on that and build specific for academic use cases. Smart limitations in operations. So it wrote a good report. Critical issues to consider when building agentic applications: bias, data security, autonomous behavior, technical debt. Awesome. All right. So this is a very good report. It has referenced 4 of the papers that I have uploaded. Maybe 2 might not be very relevant for this. So this is one use case. Let's look at another use case. Let's see if it's completed. All right. Okay, it's still working. So the SLR prompt, right? I generated here 100-word prompt for Prisma compliance. So I just posted this to let it run. Now SLR is usually very costly for the agent and also for humans, right? Though this SLR might not yet be perfect, it will soon be. We are working on a lot of improvements, but it is still quite good enough, right? So what you'll see also from an agent perspective is it will take a lot of time, a lot of credits, because if it is able to do it in a few hours or an hour also, it's probably saving months of work, or let's say at least weeks of work for multiple people. So yeah, again, for SLR use case, it started with a plan, right? So understand the research question, finalize inclusion exclusion criteria, search multiple academic databases, title abstract screening, full text downloading, full text screening, deduplication, data extraction, report generation. Awesome. So it first wrote the research protocol for this. Anyone who is okay, firstly, a good thing is it's the research protocol is in Pico framework. It has inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria. It asked for me to either approve. So I said approved. It searched multiple academic databases, add screening columns. So we can say some paper has exclude, some has include, right? Exclude, include, and the justification also. So for all of the search results, it added the screening criteria. So this is abstract based screening, okay, step 3. Then it downloaded the full text, which is also a capability of our agent to work with all the full texts available. And then it added again another column for data extraction for it, right? Okay, which is in a way full text screening. Awesome. Okay. Let's go next. What did it did? It extracted insights. So we can look at the insights from this. Okay, it wrote a code for Prisma flow diagram using Matplotlib because that is what the prompt had. We can, okay, it's created successfully. We can check the output. So it's still running. It's creating now evidence tables. Okay, so this is the Prisma flow diagram. It searched multiple DBs, recorded screening eligibility, included how many. Nice. Exclusion reasons for different reasons. It has given the count. Decent. So this might take some more time. We can quickly check that it has also would have consumed a good amount of credit. So it's already consumed close to 300 credits. It might take some more time, right? So yeah, so better prompts will help you save credits. So the focus is this: if you want to do something simple, mention that only do that, so that agent doesn't assume things and doesn't go on a long run. If you want to do something very complex, try to be as specific as possible. Ensure you talk about your context, your task, subtasks, what you feel the agent should do, and the output in detail, right? If you don't, we have inbuilt properties in the agent where it will assume what output to make, what searches to do. But the more you tell, the better it is. All right, I think that's pretty much it from my side to start, to end the demo and start probably questionnaire. We can maybe take some prompts